Hey, welcome to the Good Vibes Podcast, the only podcast where we're all a bunch of Looney Tunes up in here. My name is Ramen, and joining me as always, it's the King of Green, ShadeX.
Hello.
Joining ShadeX is everyone's substitute teacher, Manuel D.
Hey guys, it's me, Manuel D. You know, like I've been here all along.
I couldn't come up.
I come a long way.
I couldn't come up with anything, but you're substituting, so.
It's good. It's good enough, man. I appreciate it.
Our guest is a man of many voices. Some would call him the master of the skies, but better. That movie sucks. We have the one and only KOREY Durham. Did I say your name right?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
My man's been traumatized since he had the last guest.
I fucked up with Matt Daner, and then on the Matt Daner podcast, and then
it was Danner. It was Danner.
And then when I was talking about Alex Winter, I kept saying Alex Hirsch, and they kept correcting me.
Oh man.
But hey man, it's nice to have you on the podcast, man.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Sweet. I see you got an awesome Scooby-Doo shirt too, man.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, the classic Scooby-Doo stuff.
You gotta see it.
Cool Scooby-Doo.
Which Scooby-Doo iteration are you a fan of, man?
I like all of them, but I really like the old, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, and the new Scooby-Doo movies back in the 70s.
Oh,
those are my favorite. I like Casey Kasem. That's why.
Hell yeah! What about the James Gunn movies? You a fan of Scooby-Doo dressing up as a Medea?
yeah. My daughter loves those movies, and I remember going and seeing them in the theater, so they were great.
Nice. Probably the best.
But I prefer the cartoon for sure.
Hell yeah! What about the one where Shaggy had his own show with Scooby? I forgot, what is it called? Be Cool Scooby-Doo or something like that.
No. I've
never watched that one.
Wait, let me check. What's the name of it?
It's a pretty mid one.
Oh no, it's Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
So
I remember watching one episode of it, but that's about it.
Man, I'm without the rest of the Scooby Gang, is it really Scooby-Doo? It's like Yo Yogi. Have anybody ever watched Yo Yogi?
Oh, I love Yo Yogi. I've never seen it, but I love it.
It's really bad. But you're a man of many vocal talents. What's your how did you get started in doing your voices? When was the first voice you did?
First voice I did. I'm not really sure. I've never been asked that before, so I'm not really sure what the first one that I did was. I know I really got into it when I started watching Saturday Night Live as a kid, and Dana Carvey, yeah, and then also when I was watching the Looney Tunes, those were, to see Mel Blanc doing all of those voices was like, oh my gosh, that was the coolest thing ever. So I was like, that's what I want to do.
Nice.
So that's probably where it started.
Do you have because I know most voice actors have a technique and how they nail a specific voice. Do you have a technique you do to get the voice right?
Well, when I was doing Bugs Bunny, when I was trying to learn that, I started off not being able to do that voice at all. And so what I did was I start off with trying to learn specific lines that they actually say, so that way I can make sure it sounds exact. And then once I get that down, then it's learning how to be conversational with that voice. So taking it and saying anything in that voice, and that's where it's a little more difficult. But one of the things I did when I was learning Bugs was I actually recorded. I took individual lines and I recorded those lines so that I could hear myself saying them. Because sometimes when you record it, and you listen back, it doesn't really sound the same as what you thought it did.
Yeah.
So I was like listening to that, and then I would listen to the original of the same line back to back, and I'd go, okay, what's wrong with my version of it versus the original? And I would basically just A/B it, try to figure out, okay, is it more of the Brooklyn Bronx accent of Bugs Bunny, or is it too much? And just real, learning that. That was how I approached that voice. Now I don't do that on all of them, but that's on that specific one. That was my approach on that.
And then I learned how to do it really well, Doc.
Oh my god, that was so cool!
I like that. I like that.
It's like Bugs Bunny was in this fucking room. Holy fucking shit. That was awesome. Oh man, that was awesome.
Thank you, Doc. I really appreciate that.
Oh my god.
It's like we actually got Eric Bowser on the podcast. No way.
Oh my god. My Bugs Bunny is pretty bad. What's up, Dak? So I try. I gotta practice my Bugs Bunny one day, yo. Oh man.
Yeah, do it that way. That I actually, if you have, if you really want to get something exact as close as possible, that's probably the best way to do it. Is record yourself saying a specific line and then go with that. Yeah,
what I do for some of my
test it.
What I do for some of the voices that I can do is I like some voices that I can do. I do for like SpongeBob. I'll say a catchphrase over and over and over again, and then I can somewhat nail it. So I can somewhat do it, or I do Patrick. I can somewhat do it. So
pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. I can. I really wanted to have you on the podcast, mostly because I like talking to like people like who do impressions and stuff like that. Because I grew up in that age of YouTube where
you're clicking on the Discord screen and
no, oh, my bad. I grew up in the age of YouTube where like I would watch impressionists like Mikey Bolts and like people like Brock Baker.
Yeah.
So I grew up in that era.
I know what you're talking about.
I grew up in that era where they will make like song parodies and like they do like voice stuff like that. So I always wanted to do it, and that's why I watched.
I've thought about doing that,
like song parodies.
Yeah, I've thought about doing that, or just like I've done parodies. I used to do that, 10 or 15 years ago. I would do that on YouTube, but I thought about incorporating the two, where it's kind of like what you're talking about with like Brock Baker and Mikey Bolts, where they would do the songs and voices. Mm-hmm. So I've thought about doing that. I just haven't done it yet.
Is it because you have to because you can do a wide range of voices, because you have to you want to pick a specific voice to match the song? Because I never know how some of those song parodies would go, but I'm assuming you have to curate a voice to match the song's tone or something like that.
Kinda. I mean, so I guess when I'm talking about, are you talking about the ones where they're singing the original lyrics, but it's just in the voice of a character? Yeah, that, I mean, you can do, as long as it's within the right range. I mean, if you can't sing some, Mariah Carey, like super high pitched voices like Hank Hill, that wouldn't work.
Hank Hill. It's all about that bass, baby.
Yeah. That wouldn't be such a good idea.
God damn it, Daddy.
Oh my god.
But I have done some rap battles videos.
Yes.
Those
Bugs Bunny.
Those. Yeah, so those, like, I don't write the rap. I basically partnered with this other guy, and he writes all the rap, and then he just sends it to me with no beat. So I'm like, I have no idea what the beat sounds like, which I think that's so backwards, but he's like, don't worry about it, I can fix it, just send me whatever. And I'm like, okay. And he just sends me a script and says, here's the character. And a lot of times it's funny because I really don't watch a lot of like newer cartoons, with the exception of a few. Mm-hmm. So like he'll be sending me stuff and I'll be like, I have no idea who the person I'm battling is. Like I know nothing about that character, but I know the character I'm doing, so it doesn't really matter.
When you did the funny, though. Was the Bugs Bunny one where that was just you. Was that the script you were sent, or you just did that for fun?
Oh, that was the script I was sent. Yeah,
Okay.
I was sent that, and then I just do the voice, and then they sync it up to the video.
Who's battling Bugs Bunny?
The world.
I'm sorry.
Who's gonna be battling Bugs Bunny in a rap battle in the video?
Oh, there's already one up, but I like I said, I don't know who the characters are. It's
okay.
It's like some anime characters that I didn't watch, so
Oh,
I have no idea.
Bugs Bunny fighting Goku from Dragon Ball is what you're saying?
Yeah,
oh hell
if it was-
yeah!
okay, now if it was that, I'd know what it is, but it's like stuff that I'm not a huge anime person, unfortunately, so I don't know a lot of the newer animes. But I do have like one where I'm doing Hank Hill in a rap battle, and then I have one as Bugs Bunny. I have one as Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty.
Oh, you do a Rick impression? Oh, that's cool. Fuck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I can actually do Rick and Morty pretty good.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay.
I don't want
Let's
to put you
hear
on the
it.
spot, bro, but like I've seen your Instagram video, so I know you can do it.
Oh my God, Rick! Geez, Rick, what are you gonna do? You know, Jessica's over here, and you know we've got to get her back home. Oh my God, Morty, would you just cut it out? You're always like trying to get in my business.
Oh my
That's I
Oh my
love
God.
that, dude.
Adult
That's
Swim.
actually so
Are you
sick.
fucking hearing this? Well, Chris is not hearing this. They don't even watch this podcast, but
They
don't know that?
already hired new people. They hired 2 unknowns, which props
Yeah.
to them. They gave people their first VA
yeah.
jobs.
they didn't even have any credits. That was really weird. But like they do a great job. Have you not seen any of their new Rick and Morty episodes?
Yeah, I have seen them.
They're honestly, I think they're really funny. I mean, some seasons are a bit like mid, but like the new season, I'm actually liking it. Now that it's 2 people, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I like the guy. Both voices. They're both good. I would say Morty is the better of the 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think Morty is
Yeah.
almost identical. You can't really tell the difference. Like if I didn't know that it wasn't Justin Roiland, I would just never have known. But Rick is I would say about 90% there.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit deeper in tone than the original.
Mhm.
I kind of like that, you know. Like,
Yeah, I don't dislike it. I think it's cool, but and I think it's awesome that they found people that sound that close. So
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
Ian Cardone is the new Rick, and Harry Belden's the new Morty.
Hmm.
Their
That's
voices
cool.
are good. I would say like the first episode really showed their range. I mean, Mr. Pooey Butthole was a bit off. For me,
But
it was
he's
a bit
voiced by a different voice actor.
Oh, he
too,
was?
So they got
Okay.
Oh, so they have like other people playing the side characters. That's pretty interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. You know, I like that. No, yeah.
I find it
Um,
interesting how like the Justin Roiland voice characters, rather than like casting one actor in all of them, like different people are getting the roles.
yeah, that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing because you're giving more than one person an opportunity here. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, maybe that person sick one day, so they'll just record the other one instead of like relying on one person to do all the voices. You got 2 people. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were talking about SNL. Like, I want to go back to that. Like, what era would you say was your favorite SNL era? Because you already said Dana Carvey, but who are some of your favorite like comedians from that era that you grew up in?
Oh yeah. So my favorite ones were, like I said, Dana Carvey, but that whole era. I mean, if you look at that time frame, I think it was like the late '80s to like mid '90s, maybe even to the early 2000s. I guess I'm biased because that was when I was like a child and a teenager and stuff. So like that's kind of what that's probably the reason it's nostalgia. But there was a lot of really great people on there at that time. Like there was, Adam Sandler, there was Will Ferrell, there was Rob Schneider, Chris Farley.
Oh,
I mean, there was so many that were just, phenomenal talent all at the same time.
Yeah, wait, I didn't know that Adam Sandler was in Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Adam Sandler was Saturday. That's how he got his start. I think he was.
Yeah.
Was he fired for like most of the?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't.
The Chris Farley gang, like Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, and David Spade, they were fired, and that's when Adam Sandler decided to go into doing movies. From what I
I know he did start. He started making movies because of that, and like Mike Myers was the same way. He was there at around the same time as Dana Carvey. They were both on SNL together. That's where Wayne's World started. That's where I'm trying to think of some other movies that were tied into that.
I was gonna say Coneheads, but I don't know.
Coneheads, yeah,
Coneheads. I've never seen Coneheads. It looks weird.
It's funny. It's really weird, but it's funny. I think it's funny. They call the parents, instead of calling them parents, they call them parental units. Like
my parental unit is upstairs.
It's really weird. Makes me laugh.
Man, I only know. I forgot the actor who's I forgot the actor who was in Coneheads, but I know he's in Ghostbusters.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah,
he's in Ghostbusters. Yeah,
he's really good. Although I would say like
he does.
I think the Yogi Bear live action movie. Hey, Yogi Bear could have been better. That's just personally just me, because Justin Timberlake was spot on, but Dan was not.
Yeah, I thought he did pretty good though, all things considered. He's not really I wouldn't say he's not really a voice actor, right? So, and that's one thing about movies now is you don't have the really good voice actors, it seems like, anymore. You have just actors.
Yeah.
Which acting is a requirement of voice acting. However, there a lot of them are just talking in their normal voices, which I think really I'd rather have an original voice that, is unique to that character rather than it just sounding like generic Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Wasn't
it like Robin Williams, who I think was the one who said like he didn't. It was something about Aladdin. I don't know if you can. I forgot what it is.
Did he is it his contract where he didn't want his lines reused after
something like that? I thought it was like he didn't. I thought he didn't want his like name to be plastered on the. But who knows? But like you are right about that. It's more like most actors do tend to use their normal voice. I would say Chris Pratt does have a little bit more experience in voice acting, because not many know, but he did voice act in Ben 10. Like
Chris Pratt?
He was a voice actor in Ben 10 Alien Force. He played a character called Cooper. So like people forget that, like, yeah, he's an actor now, but like back then he was also kind of doing like small parts here or there, trying to get by. Like,
wow, I actually didn't know that. The only role I knew him for, like back in the day that he did like voice acting, was like Emmett from the Lego Movie. But like, damn.
Yeah, he did. He has some pretty good voice credits. But again, now we're at that point where, like, now it's a meme where Chris Pratt's in almost everything. It's a funny meme, but like, they tend to use Chris Pratt a lot, I would say.
I saw some stuff where they're talking about that because they had announced that they're making a new live action Zelda movie, which I'm super excited about. If they do it right, it could be really good.
They got Michael Cera.
I think my preference though would be for them to do it animated, but
yeah,
but you never know. But I saw the other day that there was like fake articles that were like, Chris Pratt is announced to be the new Link. Like, no,
he doesn't even talk.
The one I've been seeing is like Tom Holland is Link, and that
could potentially happen because
that would actually be good.
The movie, Sony's making it, and
I heard I saw an article.
Avi Arad is the producer, so he produced the Spider-Man movie. That's kind of worrying to me in a way, since the Spider-Man movies he's like got involved with tend to not be good.
Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I like Venom, but like he made Venom a non-Spider-Man villain in that movie as an effort to like use the rights and yeah, all that.
Who would you cast as Zelda?
Even though
that
I
makes no
like,
sense. He doesn't talk. Who are you gonna cast? Michael Cera to do grunt sounds? Like
Bro, the thing is that a couple months
like-
ago, I saw like a few articles saying that Tom Holland wanted to be like Jack in a Jack and Daxter movie, and I'm like, I don't see that at all. I just can.
I can see I could see Tom Holland as Link, honestly.
I didn't even
but
buy him as fucking. I didn't even buy him as Nathan Drake. Why would I buy him as Jack or Dexter? Like maybe.
Yeah, I think.
Come on.
I don't know. I just really hope they get someone else for Link and not Tom Holland. Like every like boring fan cast, I wouldn't mind it.
Ryan
But,
Gosling as Link. Now that's a perfect casting right there.
Yeah,
I mean-
if they're going for like older Link, then yeah. If they're doing Ocarina of Time, like they
I'm
could
afraid
maybe
for
get Tom
them to do
Holland.
Ocarina of Time because just imagine the giant ass moon in CG, bro.
That's Majora's Mask, but
Yeah, you're
Oh,
talking
never
about
mind.
George Mask where it's like the creepy the moon.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that would
Danny-
be, that'd
no,
probably
no.
be the,
Danny
they'd
DeVito
probably
for the
tease
moon.
That,
Danny
they'd
DeVito for
probably
the moon.
tease that. They probably tease that for the second film, is my guess.
that game
they are
that
doing-
game came out when I was a kid, and I played the crap out of it for a little bit. But man, it would make me so mad. It would really piss me off.
Yeah,
Because every
how
time
many-
you'd get to a certain point, you'd end up the day would reset and you'd have to start all over. And when I was a kid, I didn't really get the whole, you have to get certain things done by the countdown, and that you kept certain things. So I would get mad. I thought it was the end of the game because I was like a little kid,
Mhm.
And then
you just saw the moon crash down and you thought you lost.
I was like, dang, that's the end of it.
I'm Danny DeVito.
Right now.
I'm the moon. I speak for the sun.
And I kept like going, there's no way you can do all these things that they're wanting you to do in the time frame they're giving you. I didn't realize it kind of, you had to continually do it and do certain quests on certain days within the game. I didn't realize that.
That's like the one Zelda game
Yeah.
I tend to avoid. I play the other ones, but I'm not a fan of like time limit games. The way you're describing it almost doesn't even make me want to play because it sounds like a chore.
Ocarina of Time is not Ocarina of fucking stupid. I mean, Majora's Mask overall, I think is like a really good game, but I can definitely.
Oh yeah, as an adult, I've went back and played it, and it's definitely way better than I remembered. It's just
I haven't played Majora's Mask, but I played a bit of Ocarina of Time on my like 2DS. I played up until like I become adult Link when I time travel. So I played the first. Well, I don't know if I don't know how much of that it's like that part, the beginning of the game, I guess.
I like Wind Waker.
Yeah, I think
And like
Wind Waker's great. Yeah, I was about to say Wind Waker. I played that forever. I actually played it a couple months ago again. So I've been playing some older Zelda games for the last year or so, just on and off.
yeah.
And I played Wind Waker and... Go ahead.
Yeah, Wind Waker. I'm really hoping Wind Waker. What's annoying is like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, they haven't been ported to the Switch.
Yeah, I hope they port Wind Waker and at least Wind Waker, but to the Switch, because that's one of my favorite Zeldas.
Yeah, the Wind Waker HD version actually has improvements to the game.
It's
yeah,
weird.
Oh yeah,
that would be
definitely. The
one.
travel.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
the
Wind
traveling in the boat is way better in the Wii U version.
It's a weird Wind Waker. It's not on Switch, considering that when the Wii U wasn't selling like as much as Nintendo wanted, they used Wind Waker to sell consoles. So you would think they would do that with the Switch. They use Breath of the Wild to sell the Switch, but not.
Man, you know what game I'm waiting for them to add on the Switch? What Zelda game I'm waiting for them to add on the Switch? Twilight Princess. I really want them to add that game to the Switch.
Yeah, where Zelda becomes a wolf. Yeah,
That's one of the only Zelda games I think. Well, not one of the only Zelda, but it's one of the bigger known Zelda games that I have never played.
It's really good.
So you recommend
yeah.
it? I should play
Yeah,
it.
I recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I wouldn't say it's my favorite though. I like Breath of the Wild a little bit more, but I think it's good.
Yeah,
I've played a little bit of Breath of the Wild, but I also am not somebody. I have a daughter, so I like a 3-year-old, and my wife is in like clinicals for radiology and stuff. So my life is pretty busy between working my other job, then doing voice acting in my free time, and so I don't have a lot of time except late at night to play games. So I haven't really gotten into Breath of the Wild just because it takes so much time to play it.
Yeah, like
I understand what you're saying. Like there's like it's a lot.
Like I picked it up and I'm like, oh, my weapons, they keep breaking. And there's these bokoblins, and I have to throw like the bombs that you can generate, which I don't think the game wants you to do necessarily. But like that's like my last resort to killing enemies, like those bombs that you can like create temporarily that with the powers or whatever. The mystical.
So
the
I say this as somebody who 100%ed the game. Don't do the side missions. It's a terrible
the game's
idea.
all side. Man, the game's all side missions.
Yeah, I know that, but don't do like all the You have to find all the collectibles because I swear, like it is so tedious and like the reward is not worth it in the slightest.
Was like a T-shirt or something like that?
No, I think a T-shirt would be more generous. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Oh my god, man! I played Zelda Breath of the Wild. I never beat it because it's one of those games where you just walk around and you tend to not want to. It's like Fallout. You don't really want to do the main story.
Is Tears of the Kingdom better? Is Tears of the Kingdom better?
I don't need to.
I've never played Tears of the Kingdom yet. I haven't played it.
I play more of the linear Zelda games where it's like straightforward. You ain't got to think. Like it's like I play most of those games.
I'll probably play through Ocarina again because I lost my save file, my old save file. So I'll probably replay it at some point on my 2DS. Majora's Mask too. I want to play that too.
So
I like Link to the Past. Link to the Past is one of my favorites.
Oh, that's a good Zelda game. But
it's fun.
Since we were speaking of like let's talk about worst movies we've watched. Now, Corey, what's probably the worst movie you ever sat through, and whether it be with your wife or your kids, and you realize, man, I wish I was blind throughout this entire movie.
Oh man, I don't know. I have a weird I like all kinds of movies. I have a really big physical media collection of movies. With how you have the camera zoomed in, it probably won't even. I don't think you can even see all of them because they're all on this side. But it's like here, I'll show you what I can. If you can see any of this, I've got an entire.
This man got the AVGN fucking basement, bro.
Yeah, I've got an entire I've got an entire wall that's all
Well, let me change my question. What's the worst video game or superhero movie you would pick that you've watched?
The worst superhero movie or video game movie?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's the Super Mario Brothers movie, not the new one, but the one from the 80s or 90s or whenever it was.
Yeah. That's that one's laughably bad. But the behind the scenes are really bad.
You know what's funny about that? They're internationally, some company made a collector's edition Blu-ray of that movie.
Is that real? Wait, hold on.
Why would you collect that? How would you collect mine?
I thought about getting that, actually. I saw that the other day, and I was like, you know what? Because I remember watching it as a kid, and so I have a little bit of nostalgia for it, I guess. But it was not a good movie. It's...
Oh, shit, it is real. UHD Blu-ray, $41.
That sounds awful.
No, I wouldn't spend $41 on that movie.
That opening to the movie is a fucking CDI.
Yeah,
thing, bro.
You can get a 4K HD Spider-Verse for $10 to $20.
$10, yeah.
So what's the worst superhero
Yeah,
movie
10
you've
bucks.
seen in recent years? Because mine is Shaquille O'Neal's Steel, where I think Shaquille O'Neal was in a shitty armor costume. That's my least favorite one.
I haven't seen that. I've never even heard of that.
Don't. It's awful.
I'm like sitting here looking at my movies and going, was there any that are bad, that I really don't like?
You can say one of the Spider-Man ones. No, I'm joking.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2. That was like, I watched No Way Home and I was like, wow, maybe Amazing Spider-Man 2 isn't as bad as I remember.
No,
Then I
it's-
watched it.
it's the ending.
It was
Okay.
a chore to get through. It was such a chore. Like there's
Well,
some good
I
stuff
was
in it.
rewatching it because like I wanted to update my Spider-Man ranking, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's just like as fun. Maybe it's like good this time around, and well, not good, but like at least enjoyable to watch. But like, no, it wasn't.
What's your take on it, Corey?
What's the better, y'all's opinion? Which is the better movie? Spider-Man 3 or Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man 3.
Oh.
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3, because
Spider-Man 3 listen, Amazing Spider-Man 2 does not have Bully Maguire, and I feel like that's just an automatic one.
Yeah, but it has Topher.
Yeah.
You know what? Amazing. You know what? Spider-Man 3 has Topher Grace as Venom, and it has probably a lot more quotable lines. So yeah, Spider-Man 3 for sure.
Listen,
Yeah.
bro. In Spider-Man 2, we don't get Eddie Brock going to church and praying for some random guy who got him fired for God to fucking kill him, bro. Like, he didn't even know he was Spider-Man. He just went there to just tell God to please kill a random dude that got him fired.
I mean,
That
but
is
we
so-
got the new Goblin, but that looks messed
sounded
up
like
and
crackhead. Sounded
looks like a
crackhead.
crack. No, the reason I think
he looks like New Goblin looks like the Winter Soldier.
my
pretty
take
much.
on Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I've said this a few times, that while they try to jam in a bunch of I think 3 villains in one, but I think the reason I think the movies generally suck is probably the ending, where like I think Peter goes to the train and I think he opens up a computer and his dad says, "You are the chosen one," or something like that, and that kind of already defeats the purpose of the first movie and the second movie when you're hammering the message. Anyone can wear the mask. To say Peter is the chosen one, like that's so stupid, because it's clearly like the writers don't understand, like the whole appeal of Spider-Man is a normal dude becoming a superhero, not the chosen one. The chosen one doesn't seem like a Spider-Man thing. That's like a more of a Shazam type of thing. That's
Or a Green Lantern.
or a Green Lantern thing, but Spider-Man being a chosen one, that all the scenarios in the first movie don't even look like he was the chosen one. It looks like he just walked into a lab full of spiders. How would you choreograph that? How would
Yeah,
you,
it was
how
just
would
like
you
a
set-
random, like it was just like a random room with like a bunch of spiders.
yeah.
I don't
How would you set that up if I was Peter's dad? How would I set that up? How would I make sure he
Oh,
he has to go on that trip?
what's even worse? There's that scene that got cut from the movie where like Peter's dad admits he faked his death.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I don't know anything about what you guys are talking about on that. I haven't seen that.
Oh, let me give
Yeah,
you the
yeah,
rundown.
it was a deleted
DVD or Blu-ray or
scene. They-
something?
Let me
Yeah,
give you the
I-
rundown real quick. So
I have the
basically,
Blu-ray, so I can go watch it.
okay, so basically the deleted scene is like Peter is like in like Gwen Stacy's grave, and then some random guy just like shows up behind him. He's like, Peter, I'm your dad. He's like, nah, my dad died in a car crash, and like not fucking car crash, like a plane crash. He's like, yeah, I'm your dad, dude. I'm like, damn, and they just
That's
sit
weird.
around. Yeah,
I'm your dad, Peter. I'm also Spider-Man.
that would have
That's
been funny.
Oh, that's
yeah,
funny.
like
I think my biggest problem with superhero movies, and I would say both Marvel and DC have done this, and I don't get it. And it's more of the fault of the writers. It's not anything else, really, I don't think. But why is it necessary to have a villain in the movie for the first time you're meeting them, this is an established villain in the comics that was like decades and decades of stories, and you introduce them, you get their origin story, and then they die.
Yeah, I hate that.
Like, why is that necessary? Like, you can't just put him in jail, you can't put him in prison like they did in the comics, and then, I mean, because to me, it does a number of things. It kind of like makes it seem like that all the history in the comics is not a part of it anymore, and then it also makes me feel like, what they're doing. And the other issue is having 3 and 4 villains in one movie, all of a sudden trying to introduce all of them to the people that are watching it, when instead you could do one of two things. You either just assume that everyone already knows these villains because they've read the comics, and you don't do any kind of an origin about them at all. That's one way you can do it, if you want to have 2 or 3 villains or 4 villains. Or you do kind of, you introduce one at a time and don't kill them off, and then you have a Sinister Six movie, or something like that.
Wasn't that what Spider-Man 3 was building up? You are absolutely right, because in first Spider-Man killed off Doc Ock. Oh wait, was it Doc Ock was the first one, right? First Spider-Man?
No,
it was Green Goblin. Green Goblin.
And they killed him too.
They killed
him. Then they kill Dr. Octopus. Then they kill let's see who else.
No, they didn't kill Topher Grace.
Sandman didn't. Himself. Sandman die? He didn't, right?
No, Sandman is actually the only one who didn't die.
Sandman,
yeah, the only one, and the rest of them all died.
Yeah. That is weird. No, because Sandman wasn't really a villain. He was manipulated by Venom to attack Peter. So he was able to get out of that one, like, alive. But, like, which is stupid when they brought him back for, like, the new Spider-Man movie. They didn't even want the only thing that was left of him was that I feel like they didn't want to get the actor, so they just CGI'd him as Sandman. They just
Wait, wasn't it filmed during the pandemic or something?
Maybe, but like, if I want to see Sandman, I kind of want to see the actor, because I don't want to see him in a CGI scene.
Yeah, I noticed with the Lizard and Sandman, they both use like archival footage because they couldn't get them on set.
It's not even the good-looking Lizard. It's the Amazing Spider-Man Lizard. Come on, man.
I mean, that's the only Lizard they have. Because
true.
they never. Because I mean, we could have gotten the Raimi, the Dr. Connors from the Raimi movie would have been a good Lizard, but
I do want to touch on this a bit more. Like, I can't even think any other superhero movies where they kill off the villains. Can you name them?
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, the first Michael Keaton Batman, they kill off Joker.
Oh my god.
Trying to think what else. There's several. It's like over and over again they would kill him, and I think they've kind of gotten out of that with the Marvel movies. They've stopped doing that a little more, because like if you think about it, Loki was a central bad guy, yet he's still alive. So they got out of that. I mean, it just doesn't make sense when you think about it. It's like, how could this villain become such an arch enemy that they're at that level that the Avengers are taking him down, or, Batman or any of these characters? If they were some like low level, I mean, it takes a long time to get to that point. I would assume to be an arch nemesis, but then. But it can all be done within 2 hours, and then they die.
It takes one bridge explosion or somebody dangling off the Empire State Building. That's when you know you got your villain. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really like the best Marvel villain stuff. Well, like I've seen recently would be the Spider-Verse movies, like. The animated ones, like the Spot.
I was so mad that they ended the last one in like a cliffhanger. I was like, "Oh my god!"
That
was irritating, but it was good. I liked the movie.
Yeah, it was still a really good movie. They split like one movie into 2. That's why there's a cliffhanger.
I was so into it that when it ended, I was very sad.
Yeah,
Right.
same. Like I really thought there would be some sort of a conclusion, like because I didn't fully spoil myself. I just knew, oh, this character shows up later, and there's a tease for more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
yo,
yeah,
yeah.
now that the SAG strike's over, that movie's probably being worked on, I assume.
So, I want to do something fun before we end it real quick. How about this? We do a bit of a voice off. Five of our voices, five of our the best voices that we can possibly, not five. 4 of the best voices we can possibly do. Would you want to do something like that real quick to for a highlight or?
That's fine with me. Yeah.
Okay. Shade. Why don't you give out the voices?
I'm trying to think.
Are you talking about like some voices that we've never done, like trying new ones, or are
No,
you talking
no,
about ones we already do?
voices we know we're confident in doing. I'm not gonna.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna ask you to do Popeye the Sailor Man. I mean, that's actually an easy voice you can probably do, but you know. What
I actually have a video up of that one.
Oh yes, I gotta see that. Shay, you can't come up with any. I'll come.
I got an idea. I got an idea. Like got an idea for an interaction. There's like in that Family Guy in King of the Hill intro, King's like, I was gonna ask if they understand the baby, so you could have Stewie and Hank Hill talk.
Oh wait, yo, how about I do Stewie and you do Hank Hill? How about that? We do a little bit of an interaction because my Stewie voice is probably my favorite one to do. So
Okay.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
All right. Do you want me to start, or you want to start?
Yeah, okay, I think Hank Hill starts. Yeah. Do it, and I'll go.
So what are we talking about? I'm not really great at improv. So what are we talking about?
I think we are improving. So how about we do a bit of a scenario? Stewie walks into Stewie meets Hank Hill at a bar. What would their interaction be?
Boy, you look a little bit too young to be in this here bar.
Oh, I'm like 18, 20 max. Don't worry about me. Give me one Coca-Cola on the rocks, man. Hey, what about you, man?
Well, if you say so, boy. That sounds good to me.
I got a Spider-Man Velcro wallet like a badass. What about you, man?
Well, I just have good American leather.
Leather, yes, leather. Lois has leather. Tons of it in the basement. Very, very freaky woman, if you know what I mean. What about you? Does your wife have leather? Do you possess the leather accessories in your basement?
Oh no, we have a very vanilla relationship. Nothing
Vanilla?
that the good Lord would look shameful on.
Oh yes, don't lie to me, Hank Hill. You're giving her the propane every night. Come on, you're giving her the propane and the accessories.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Stop letting me, Hank Hill. You're lighting it up, if you know what I mean. Anyway, where are those drinks at? Somebody? Anybody? Hank Hill, what movies do you like to watch, Hank Hill? You know, I prefer 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, I like watching with the dog. You know Brian. He's a bitch. Yes, a bad one. What's your favorite movie, Hank Hill?
My favorite movie?
Yes, your favorite movie. What is it like? What do you like watching guys make hot dogs on YouTube? Like, what do you like, huh?
What?
Yeah.
No, I would never watch that.
You'll never watch guys.
Bobby would watch.
He's not watching because those hot dogs are being cooked with charcoal. They need to be cooked with propane.
Oh, your chalk. Oh, so charcoal's your kryptonite, like Superman is to green rocks. I see.
Well, I wouldn't call it a kryptonite. It's just I like to taste the meat, not the heat.
That's probably what your wife said last night. Ayo!
That's true.
Oh. And then And then Peter walks into the bar. Hey, Stewie. Hey, who's this guy? Who is this wise guy? What's your name, son?
Well, the name's Hank Hill. It's nice to meet you.
Aren't you the guy that beat us in the ratings?
Well, I don't like to brag, but yep, that was me.
You know our show got canceled like twice, one time maybe. How's your show doing, huh? We're still around. How about you?
Well, we're getting brought back on Hulu, apparently.
Yes, Hulu. The show that has Solar Opposites and Rick and Morty. Great job. Or you gonna get on Peacock or Fox, the Fox app, huh?
Well, you know, it's not all about the money and the ratings. Sometimes it's just about quality material.
Quality material is what I use to wipe my bun with. Anyway. Okay. We'll do one more because my throat fucking hurts. Because I do too. Manuel. So what we're doing is we're doing scenarios of with like characters as characters. So you give us a scenario and the characters you want in that scenario.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to Bugs Bunny and Stewie Griffin Stewie Griffin trying to capture Bugs Bunny. I feel like that'd be an interesting way to do.
Okay.
Trying to capture him?
Capture Bugs Bunny. I guess I'm doing Stewie again.
Capture Bugs Bunny for whatever reason.
Guess I'm doing Stewie again. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
Oh, it's the old rabbit hunting game again, Doc.
Oh my god, it's...
I'll play along.
Oh my god, it's the Bronx Bunny Rabbit. I've seen you in my nightmares. Are you my sleep paralysis demon?
Well, I do sleep all winter.
Yes, I can see it because your belly's fat. People do Pilates and squats. What do you do, Bugs Bunny? What do you do for fun?
Oh, I do lots of things, Doc. Sometimes I even cross-dress.
Yep. Yes, society has really taken to your cross-dressing. There's websites plastered with you cross-dressing.
I like to think I was the original model of that, Doc.
Yes. I definitely didn't cross-dress many times on Family Guy. I'm definitely not a cross-dresser. You know what? We're both cross-dressers, Bugs Bunny. How do you do it, huh? How do you apply your makeup?
Oh, I wouldn't want to be overly modest, Doc, but sometimes I just like to use the eyeliner and the lipstick, Doc. That really brings out the features of the bunny face.
I like to grab a plunger and put lipstick on it and plunge my face. And that's how you get the perfect lipstick on your lips. Yes. Sometimes I let the dog watch while I plunge my face with lipstick.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's not weird. Anyway, I got a gun in my hand, and it's a pretty big gray gun, I can probably capture you with it, You would you like that? Would you like me to capture you?
With a ray gun? That's what you said?
A ray gun, man. Ray gun.
Oh, if you're speaking of ray guns, I have a very great ray gun to blow up Earth.
That's perfect!
Holy crap. Is that an alien?
Yes, I've seen this guy before. He's a little Martian, Doc.
That's probably
yes, I am from Mars.
Oh my god. I stole my ray gun from you back in the day. It's a pretty nifty weapon. I haven't used it since, the last season of Family Guy. Honestly, the writers probably forgot I'm a genius baby, but I've used it a few times.
I also have an aluminum Q-36 space modulator.
Yeah, that's a lot of words for my vocabulary. Just give me all the guns so I can destroy the bunny.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give my weapons away. Plus, it would rob me of the chance to blow up this dear bunny.
Yes, so you're gonna blow up a bunny. Nobody's ever captured Bugs Bunny. You know that? He he's a very fast rabbit. So let's see. That's you, a guy with a beard who looks like he works at Tesco. Who else? A duck with a speech impediment, and who else? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You can't forget Yosemite Sam, Doc. Yosemite Sam's always after me.
Yes, but Yosemite.
Hate that rabbit.
Oh, Yosemite Sam. You know, there's like guys that look like you at Walmart all the time, right? Just walking around buying groceries.
He's not wrong, Doc.
What do you like?
Ooh, I hate them rabbits.
Yes, I bet you like double stuff Oreos, don't you?
Since we're talking about Mars, perhaps there's a Duck Dodgers in the room.
Is there a Duck Rogers in this room? Duck Dodgers.
Duck Rogers.
Thank you, everybody. Here I am, right here for the Duck Dodgers and the 24th and a half century.
Didn't I see you at AA last night? You were talking about the fact that you don't get enough attention from your wife. Why is that? Why do you like dressing up as this space cowboy?
Which character are you talking to? Because I've done like
I
six.
think he's talking to Daphne.
I'm talking to the one dressed up as a space cowboy, Duck Dodgers.
Oh, I've dressed up as lots of things, including a space cowboy, Doc. So you
Yes,
gotta be more specific.
I'm talking about the one with the speech impediment.
I wouldn't call a Brooklyn Bronx accent speech impediment, Doc.
Yeah, okay. Let me be more
That's
specific.
right. He doesn't have a speech impediment.
No, I'm talking to you, goddamn Donald Duck knockoff.
Oh, man.
Say, you're absolutely despicable.
Yes, I've destroyed. Yes, I am despicable. Thank you for noticing. You know what? Thank you. You know, nobody's called me despicable since the other seasons of Family Guy. You know, I'm just a regular baby in those seasons. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, destroying the world. You know what? How about remember in AA we were talking about the fact that you get no loving from nobody. Remember that? Duck Dodgers.
That is absolutely preposterous.
Oh, you could throw around preposterous all you want, but you get no loving from no one, from what I hear.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I think we say we end it here.
It just kind of ends on a cliffhanger.
We'll do it again
And
at some point.
Shaggy walks up.
Like, what are you guys doing?
Oh my god, it's Shaggy. Which version of Shaggy are you?
Like I am the original Casey Kasem Scooby.
Ah, Shaggy.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
I got 5 points. Knock yourself out.
That's so good, man.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, maybe give one to the dog too, so he can stop talking like he came out of a 70s Midwestern cartoon.
Whoa, that's a whole.
Like we're just trying to get rid of this little puppy dog.
There's nobody
Let me
acknowledged.
at him. Let me at him, Uncle Scooby.
Okay, we got Black Donald Duck. Let's see. We got an alien, a bunny who can talk, freaking a talking dog who can barely talk, and a stoner. Yep, this is what Space Jam 2 should have been.
We missing somebody else?
Are we missing somebody else, huh? Who are we missing? Oh yeah, the talking baby. Right. And with that, I think we should end it there. Thanks for coming on, Corey. Thanks for playing around with some voices.
Oh, it was great. Yeah.
That's all, folks.
Yes. And with that, everybody,
great.
this was the Good Vibes podcast. Join us next time where we interview another person, or maybe we just talk. Yes. Anyway, you all have a good night. Thank you to ShadeX, Manuel, Corey. Corey. You working on a novel, Corey? You doing anything? Where can people find you, Corey?
I'm on all social media. Usually it's Korey Durham Voices. I have a Facebook page. I have a YouTube. I have an Instagram. I have TikTok. But I'll send you a link to my link tree. Maybe you can share it on whenever you share the video. But that'll have everything in it.
We'll post it. We'll post it in the description and when we share it on Twitter and all that. So, I'll send you the highlight for you probably sometime tonight because I'm gonna probably edit this so that way I'll send the highlight. We're all doing voices. That was probably the funniest thing ever. But
I love that.
with that, you guys have a
Yeah,
good night.
if you'll just send me the whole thing, that'd be